Hey everyone! So welcome to a home vlog. We are well into December at this point. I just had to look at my calendar. I have no idea what days these are anymore, but it is December 8th, and I think tonight we're gonna have some guests over. It's my niece and her girlfriend, and with all of Steve's work travel, we have to really be careful as to make sure we do all of our Christmas traditions kind of earlier than usual this year. So tonight we are making some beef bourguignon, and I figured I would vlog this and share it with you guys because I've gotten a lot of comments saying that you want to see like the classic holiday videos that we put out with lots of cooking and stuff. So that's what we're doing today. So for tonight's beef bourguignon, we're going with the master of French cooking herself, Julia Child, because I couldn't remember who had the best beef bourguignon recipe. I know I've made Julia Child's countless times, and I have tried my hand at Thomas Keller's version, which is in the Bouchon cookbook. That recipe is a beast, and it's been so many years, I can't remember if it was actually worth it. I'm sure it was, but I went on YouTube really quick to go check this video of this chef guy that I like, who always kind of does these comparisons, and he really said, like, Julia Child's just really knocks it out of the park. Thomas Keller's is delicious, but it is so time-consuming, and the end result, though delicious, he didn't really find it to be completely necessary. And if I was remembering correctly, I kind of felt the same way. Now, if you're going to go out to a restaurant and have Thomas Keller cook for you, he's got a whole, he's got a whole kitchen full of chefs that can do their part to make it. But when you're just at home and there's just one cook in the kitchen, I think Julia Child is the way to go. I should have showed you this. I kind of skipped, but I actually, for the very first time, got my own piece of chuck. So I got like 3.5 pounds of some stewing beef, and I cut it up. I don't want to touch it real quick. I just washed my hands. But I just finished cutting it up. I've never done that before. I've usually just gone to the store and just gotten the pre-made cuts. I have to say, there was something a little bit like gratifying and fulfilling doing it on my own. But I've got my bacon sliced up, and I'm very excited because tonight, for the very first time, I get to use my brand new pan. This is my Le Creuset. It's a 6 3/4. It's the signature style, except it's a little lower, so it's a little more squat but wider, and I love the color. If you're interested, the color is called Lapis. And I also like that I've got the stainless steel knob. My other one has the traditional one. I don't know what material it's made of, but yeah, I'm just very excited that I get to use it rather for the very first time tonight. So I've got a tablespoon of oil in there, so we're gonna add, it says 6 ounces of bacon. I just eyed it. I think this is probably closer to 8, just because I want more flavor and more bacon in my finished stew. So let's fry this up. Now, I like to fry this up until it gets fairly crispy. The recipe doesn't really say to do that, but that's how I like it, and I'll explain why later. But I really also want to render out all that fat, and really, because then you're going to use that to sear your beef. This here is looking very, very good. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to use my slotted spoon, and I want to give you a little pointer. If you're ever going to use something like this, Le Creuset or some kind of like enameled cast iron, granted this is just me, I would never use anything on it that wasn't either a wood tool or like silicone. Because if you were to use like a stainless steel or just any kind of like, dish spoon on this, you really risk scratching the enamel and, ruining your pan. So highly, highly recommend either silicone or wood tools when you're using something like this. Oh, but I just realized I wasn't panning the camera over, so I'm putting it over here where we've got a plate lined with some toilet paper. Oh my gosh, you guys. Paper towels. Trust me, it is not toilet paper. Now into this cooking fat, I'm going to brown, there's little Miss Skylar there, she's relaxing. I'm gonna start browning my beef. Now the recipe does not tell you to season it, but I highly recommend doing that. So I'm going to individually, dry the beef because you don't want it wet, and I'm gonna season it generously with salt and pepper, and then I'm gonna throw it into my pan. Sorry, I'm having to do this one-handed, so I can't show you as well as I would like. Steve is at the park with Caleb right now, but I'm just using his paper towel, and I'm kind of grabbing the meat and then kind of like, manhandling it, I guess you could say, to dry it. And then I'm dropping it onto this. I have this cooking sheet here lined with some paper towels just to keep it extra dry. And then once I get all the beef on there, I'm going to kind of separate it so it's not like all, clumped together. And then I'll just generously season it with salt and pepper. Here is my beef seasoned, and I've started the searing process, and I'm just gonna sear it all over on each side. No more than really 5 minutes on this. We just want to get a really nice browning, a nice crusting on these pieces of beef. Oh, and you'll be happy to know, along with my spoons, I do also have some silicone tongs. Like, these are actually stainless steel, but they've got the silicone tips or whatever. So again, I don't want to scratch my brand new pan. Oh, these are looking great. One thing I want to point out, because I'm using a bigger Dutch oven, I've got more cooking surface, so I can get more meat in there to brown at one time. I have browned my meat in 3 batches. So here's the first 2 right here. This is the third and the last one. And like I said, I've been doing 5 minutes, and that's 5 minutes total per batch. So don't think like per side. So with 3 batches, that's only 15 minutes of browning the beef. So just keep that in mind. Now with the beef browned and done, I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna keep the oil and the bacon fat in here. If you need to add a little bit more oil, go for it, that's not a problem. But to that, we're gonna saute some veggies. Now this is 1 carrot and 1 onion. I just got a rough chop on this, and I'm gonna just slice this. It doesn't have to be perfect, because these veggies are, all they're gonna do is flavor our braising liquid. They will be strained out before serving. So we've got that in there. And also, in case you were wondering, because I forgot to mention, I am cooking everything over medium heat. That is, for whatever reason, medium is like my favorite. That's what I cook everything on. I rarely go higher than that. And I think it could be just because, I use all-clad cookware, stainless steel cookware, so it gets ripping hot pretty fast. I have great results with medium heat. This is also a very good time right now while we got the veggies to kind of work up those brown bits that are sticking to your pan. Those little bits, that's basically like concentrated flavor right there. So make sure you work them up and get them onto your veggies. Again, using that wooden spoon so not to damage the finish of your pan or your Dutch oven. Work that up. Oh gosh, this smells so good. I almost forgot to vlog this step, but once we got some browning on our vegetables, we go ahead and add our beef and the bacon back to the pan. And we're gonna give that a good stir, and then we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of flour. Give this a good stir to incorporate. Excuse the noise, we have the Grinch playing at like full volume right now for Caleb. But I forgot to preheat my oven. The oven is supposed to be preheated at 450 degrees, and then you throw your pot in the oven for like 4 minutes. The idea is to cook the flour off. I'm gonna have to get creative because I just don't have time to get my oven at 450 degrees. So I'm gonna put the lid on. I'm gonna keep my stove on at the medium heat, and I'm just gonna put the lid on and let it go for like 4 minutes and just hope that does the same thing. Okay, scratch that. I was just thinking, no, that's, if I do that, if I put the lid on it, it's actually gonna steam my meat. And the whole point of what we're wanting to do is to add a crusting to our meat. Now granted, we seared it pretty well, so again, my oven is just not ready for that, so I'm just gonna wing it. I'm gonna wing it. We'll see what happens. This browns the flour and covers the meat with a light crust. Okay, I think we're good. Now I did stick it in my oven at like 350 because that's as high as it was at that point for about 4 minutes, and honestly I think it looks fantastic. So it says to stir in the wine next, so just so you can tell, we're using this. It's a Bourguignon Villages Louis Jadot. I don't know if I'm saying that right. She did recommend a wine like this, a Beaujolais, so that's what we're going with. 3 cups of this. And to that, we're also gonna add 2 to 3 cups of beef stock, just enough to cover the meat. So now with everything incorporated, we're going to bring this to a simmer on our stove. And once we got that nice little simmer going, I will cover it and put it into my oven at 325 degrees for about 2.5 to 3 hours. All right, so as you can see, I've got a nice little simmer going on here. And Thomas Keller always tells us to taste your food as you cook. Don't wait till the very end. You guys, I just took a little sip of this. Obviously it's not even fully cooked. It's not even fully braised. The alcohol probably still has a little bit of that pungentness to it. It tastes so good. Okay, but so this is now gonna braise for, like I said, 2.5 to 3 hours. I'm gonna check it at 2.5 just to make sure. So I guess I'll use this time to kind of show you guys the mess we're living in right now. I'm going to keep my focus very, very tight here because I don't want you to see everything. This place is such a mess. Like, I've got stuff to put away. Okay, Caleb's fart toy. We've got some garland here that we got this at Lowe's the other day, and I think we're going to try and hang it here. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We got some command strips, but I don't know. We're feeling very festive this year. But I thought this looked really pretty. As you can see, it's just basic garland. And it's got some gold stuff on there. I just thought it was really, really pretty. We got some garbage here. And Steve is in here. Oh, I don't think we haven't showed you our tree yet. We got our tree set up the other day. My niece and her girlfriend came over to help us. Steve just finished doing a Instagram reel. But now we're just kind of relaxing.
We are. And enjoying the tree. So it is that season that I just like being in here. I can hear everything going on in the other room.
Yeah. Caleb's got the Grinch head like top volume. But you went to the park with him for a little bit, so that was great. Yeah. He's watched a lot of movies. So we went and watched Wicked again. It was my third time, Steve's second, yes. Caleb's first.
Mike has been begging for a few days. So yesterday we just did the definitive message to Caleb just saying, this is what's happening. So
yeah.
Right?
Well, and it's funny too because with Caleb, like on one day he'll want to go see it and the next day he's like, no, I don't want to go. And then the next day he's like, oh, let's go see Wicked.
So
it's like, dude, what's going on?
For him, so there we go.
He likes to go and like get his candy and he likes the burger and stuff like that.
But the funny part was like right as the movie started, he leaned over to Mike and said, I thought you said we were going to watch Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, so there was a mix-up this morning. Let me get on camera to talk about this. So this morning, I turned on a movie here at home on TV called 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. And I told Caleb, I was throwing too many things in it, I guess. But I was like, just so you know, we're going to have breakfast and then we're going to get ready because we're going to go see the movie. And he's like, what movie is this? Like, he literally said that. I'm like, this is 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. And like, then we got sidetracked. It was like, okay, what are we having for breakfast? All this stuff. So we get to the movie and like Wicked starts. And he's like, I thought this was Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm like, no. I knew exactly what he was talking about in that moment. So I was just like, no, we're watching Wicked. But he enjoyed it. I mean, it is, he liked it, but it is almost 3-hour movie.
It's a long movie.
So he did get a little antsy towards the end.
You did pace it out though. So you guys went for a potty break, and Mike also had some things coming during the movie that
I was like,
his interest as well.
I was like, if you finish your burger, I'll order you a milkshake.
Well, no, first off, finish your burger, I'll get you a root beer.
Yeah.
Then you got a root beer, then you got a milkshake.
I was like, oh, we got like 4 songs left to go. But he did really great.
Yeah, no, it was a fun time for sure.
So now Steve and I are just sitting here enjoying our tree. Caleb's wrapping up his movie. We're going to have a fantastic dinner tonight. Oh, yeah. Miss Skylar is getting some love.
This is her favorite moments right now.
Yeah.
101 time, huh, girl?
I guess I can use this time to kind of show you our stuff. We got our stocking set up. But this is something we started. Was it just last year that we started this? Okay. Yeah, last year we started this. Let me get into some better light here. But this is our little, it looks like kind of like a Christmas chalet. We got this at Williams-Sonoma last year. And in Lake Tahoe, we went to a Williams-Sonoma. I'm sorry, let me turn this light off. The lighting is terrible right now. There we go. I think you can see it better this way. But we were at the Williams-Sonoma in Lake Tahoe this year, and they had it again. They had actually quite a few in stock, so if you're interested in it. But it's this little countdown calendar, and it's so cute because you can open up the little things and like, I don't know what about you guys, but in our household, the Christmas fairy comes every single night and leaves Caleb a little something. And when I say little something, I think the Christmas fairy maybe made a pit stop at like the Dollar Tree or something and just found these really cute little things. So every morning he gets to wake up to have a little something. Today it was just some erasers. So sometimes we get some academic, studious kind of stuff in there too to help him with his homework. Okay, I have to admit, I totally forgot about this last year with the braised brown onions. And I'm glad I looked it up because they take about an hour to do. So let me show you what I'm going to do right now. While the actual beef bourguignon is in the oven, you can do this simultaneously. I've got my little boiler onions here. It says it's about 18. I think there's 10 in each pack, so I think we're good. But I got these, so I'm gonna blanch these really quick so that they peel really easily. And then they're gonna braise in a little bit more of the beef stock for about 40 minutes. And of course, this is a component piece for Julia Child's beef bourguignon, so don't forget about this part. And while we wait for this, Steve made us a little charcuterie board. What do we got here, man?
Yeah, and I tried this one, and I did not like it.
What is it?
Blueberry cheese.
Blueberry cheese? Yeah, that sounds kind of wild. Which one's your favorite?
I don't know.
Oh, I know which one's your favorite. Oh, you like this one, the cranberry?
What's your
I
second
thought it
favorite?
was going to be the brie.
What's your second favorite?
Okay, so dinner is not going to be ready. Like the beef bourguignon is not going to be ready in enough time for Caleb to have dinner with that, which he's fine with that because his favorite thing at the moment is a croque madame. So that's what we're making here. If you don't know what that is, it's basically, there he is. Are you excited for your croque madame? So basically, it's a grilled ham and Swiss cheese sandwich, and then we top it with a fried egg. Caleb's sandwich is done, and right now I am making his fried egg right now, and I am also braising my onions for the stew. Yeah, I've got a lot going on right now.
And here we are with Caleb's completed croque madame. And yes, some people might correct us. There's not the Mornay sauce on this. He also doesn't like Mornay sauce. Yeah. But this is his like favorite meal, honestly. He requests this all the time.
All right, so I'm finishing up sauteing these onions. We got about 3 more minutes, then I'm gonna start braising them in some brown stock. I sauteed those for about 10 minutes, and now I've added half a cup of beef stock and some thyme, and these are gonna kind of slowly braise for the next 40 minutes until the liquid has evaporated. I've got this on medium heat, so it might be a little bit sooner than that, but they look and smell fantastic. Okay, just so you know, like I said, the recipe said this was going to take like 40 minutes. This did not take anywhere near that amount of time. This was so much faster to the extent that I actually added another half cup of the brown stock, and then I seasoned it lightly with some salt as well. But if you can see it, this has become really syrupy, and I really like that. So I think I'm going to leave it just like this, maybe low and slow. If you need to, turn off your stove and maybe just cover this somehow and keep it warm until you're ready to add to your stew. But I think these are perfect. Much faster than the 40 to 50 minutes as described in the cookbook. Also, by the way, and go ahead and judge me as much as you want, what I'm going to do, because I still have to saute a pound of mushrooms, I'm actually going to use the same pan without cleaning it, because I think it's all just going to, I mean, all these flavors are going to marry together anyway in the stew pot. So I am actually going to take these onions and put them in like a small bowl, put them off to the side, and I'm going to saute my mushrooms in this same pan as directed with butter and everything. But I think, you know, why dirty one more dish when all these flavors are going to mix together anyway? I think it's going to be fantastic. All right, Steve just came in from taking out the trash.
Yes. I can't, so you have to leave the house to realize how good it smells in the house.
Yeah.
It smells, Caleb, can we not do the flash right now? It smells so good. So I'm looking forward to it. It's one of those things that it cooks for like, what, half a day? So you're so hungry. Mm-hmm. I'm feeling it right now. Let's do this.
Okay, you guys, we're having some cocktails. We got some friends over, and we're watching Miracon's 34th Street 1994 edition, because that's the only one that matters. And I was telling everybody, this is when Steve brings the waterworks, because
I have emotions. I'm not scared to show this. So this is the part in the movie where Santa is... Hold on, buddy. Your joke is funny, but we'll get to it, okay? This is the part where Santa Claus is, like, he's working at a department store, and this sweet little girl comes up, and he's trying to have a conversation with her. The mom's like, oh, she's deaf. She just wanted to meet you. And he looks around, and, like, it's John Hamm from Jurassic World.
John Hammond.
John Hammond in Jurassic World looking around. And, like, all of a sudden, like, he just starts doing sign language with the girl. I'm like, oh, my God. And Mike's like, you don't pay attention to this movie. I'm like, maybe this is the first time
This is the first time he ever actually like paid attention to the movie.
So then I mentioned John Hammond, and Caleb's over here. He's like, yeah, he also says, hold on to your butts. I'm like, that's Samuel L. Jackson in Jurassic Park, but it's still pretty close. So, yeah, there we go. It's sweet. God.
We have friends over, and they don't want to be on camera, but I've put them to work, as you can see. So I've got the mushrooms going right now, and you know what? Go ahead, judge me. I am 100% overcrowding this pan for sure, but I have to say, because I use the same pan, it's kind of working as like, you know, I'm deglazing this as I go, which is fantastic. But like I said, it's all gonna marry together in the same pot anyway when we're making our stew. All these flavors are gonna blend together. It's going to be fantastic. I've just added a little bit of butter on. This was a pound of sliced mushrooms. I think I probably put in maybe 2 tablespoons butter, a little bit of salt, and you guys, it smells so good. My onions are done, my mushrooms are fantastic, and the stew has been in the oven for about 3 hours, maybe a little less than that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to now strain this sauce into a saucepan so I can collect the vegetables and the meat, and then I'm going to reduce the liquid, although I can already tell just by looking at the bubbles as they pop. This is, the viscosity of this is fantastic because you want a nice, thick, velvety sauce. I'm gonna reduce it just a bit, and then I think we've got dinner on the table, and this looks so good. All right, you know what? I just gave this a stir, and I am loving the thickness of my sauce already. Maybe this doesn't need to be reduced. You know, if you want to make this in advance, you could definitely do what I just said, separate the beef, strain the sauce out, and maybe like skim off the fat the next day as it collects and cools. But honestly, this looks fantastic. And like I said, I'm loving the thickness of the sauce. So I broke convention, you guys. I wound up not straining this beef at all because I thought the sauce was perfectly simmered down to where I wanted it to be. So I added the onions that we braised separately, as you can see there, and then I added my mushrooms. You guys, this looks so good. And then I made a batch of mashed potatoes to accompany it. Let's eat, folks. Okay, hey everyone. So it is a great time. Great. It's a long time later. It is now Friday. It's Friday afternoon. I just got home from picking Caleb up from school. So the last time you saw us, I was making the beef bourguignon. That was what, Sunday? It has been, once again, I have misjudged just how fast like the holiday season is. Christmas will be here before we know it. But yeah, we've had kind of a hectic week. One of the highlights was our little Miss Skylar got sick, and she had not been feeling well for like two and a half days. I hope you're not eating right now. But yeah, she was really sick, and so that was a lot of fun cleaning that up for 2 days. But she is on the mend. I say she's on the mend. She's fine now. She's just totally fine. You wouldn't even look at her now. You wouldn't even know that she was sick. But yeah, she was not feeling well for the longest time, and I had my hands full. They were very, very full. Doing a lot of cleaning. But right now it is Friday afternoon. It's about a little after 3:30, and we are going to be doing one of our holiday traditions, and I'm very, very excited about this. If you've been watching us for a good long while, you know every year I make homemade Chex Mix for the holidays. But real quick, it used to be something my mom used to do for years and years, and we use the original, like the old, like from the 60s recipe for the Chex Mix. So there's no like bagel chips and stuff in there. It's so good, and the whole house smells like Christmas. But it's so funny because some friends of ours have wanted to kind of make that a tradition of their own and start making it. So they're gonna come out, so they wanted to come over, and I was like, let's have a fun get together with all the kids. So it's basically gonna be like a little kid party, and the grown-ups are gonna make some Chex Mix all together. We thought it'd be fun. You know, as the night progresses, we'll order some pizza, we'll make hot chocolate, we'll watch some Christmas movies. It's gonna be it's gonna be a lot of fun. So yeah, so that's what we're doing. The other funny thing too is that I'm pretty sure I did this last year. I lost my recipe card for it. I guess I could just ask my mom for a new one, but I haven't. So last year I had to like look at our old video to like, I actually had to go on our channel and look at the video to try to remember the recipe. So I think I'm probably gonna have to do that again this year. So I don't know. I am probably not going to vlog the step-by-step process because I've already done that a few times. So I will link the latest video down below. So if you wanted to make some Chex Mix, there it is. But I got to get going because I think everybody's going to be here in like 20 minutes. So I got to clean up a little bit. But I've got everything here for the Chex Mix. I hope I have enough. I don't think I'm going to be making any for myself. I'm probably going to do that later on in the week or as we get closer to Christmas. So I just have to worry about my friends. So I got corn Chex, rice Chex, wheat Chex. We use the rolled gold sticks. If you hear that sound, I got my Roomba going right now. But we use the rolled gold sticks, and we kind of break them because I think you get a better bite than if you were to use the more traditional style pretzel, which you can see here. And then I like to use the lightly salted, dry roasted peanuts. And then I had to get a new thing of Lowry's seasoned salt because mine has expired. And it is the next morning. Good morning, everyone. Just giving you a little pan of my of my kitchen, because I have to say, it doesn't look nearly as bad as I was expecting, considering the party we had last night. Here is Steve. How do you think the party went last night?
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot.
It was loud.
Yes, but a lot of fun.
Yeah, the kids had a blast. We made some Chex Mix. Steve was serving up cocktails.
Yeah, I was like, I know we did a lot. Like,
Yeah.
I was just trying to think what we did. That we had cookies for the kids. I feel like we did something. Oh, we had pizza. We had a lot of stuff out here.
Yeah,
so we did a lot. So it was a nice, fun Friday night leading up to Christmas.
Yeah, and it was funny too because I invited my niece to come over, and she didn't know just how crazy it was going to be. She was like, "I'm starting to get a migraine."
At the end, she's on the couch and she's like,
"Yeah,
it's odd to be quiet right now."
Well, the kids only have one volume, and that's 11. So
yeah, but
it was fun.
It was fun. Yeah, it was like a workout. Like afterwards, just like I'm done with it. It's okay. I'm kind of done.
All right, what do you want to say?
And I'm going to stay at Grandma and Papa's house just for tonight.
Yeah.
And but in my room, it's charging. You can see like a little bit of it right there. And
The room was
I
charging?
got this at Target for Skylar.
You did. You guys went to Target this morning.
I got it. It's rope and it has silver, black, and yellow.
Very nice. Yeah, you guys went to Target this morning, which I was really surprised because if you guys don't know, this morning, today, it is Steve's birthday.
Yay! So
He came downstairs and I was like, "Happy birthday. What do you want for breakfast? I'll make you anything."
Yeah.
And you decided to go shopping instead.
Well, I went shopping for what I wanted.
Uh-huh.
So, and it ended up being one of those things that exactly what we needed for this recipe. It took me 3 stores to find. So, but we remained vigilant and we got them. And I was able to convince Caleb to leave the house to do it with me, which was a huge win. He got the hot chocolate like we talked about, but we're back home. And we're going to have an afternoon of peace, and then we're going to go and have fun at the hotel. So, there we are.
And then while he was out, I wrapped one of his birthday gifts. So let's go give that to him now. So I've got one of your birthday gifts here. I think this is the one you're going to want for today.
Okay. Feels like a book.
You know what it is.
Huh. I wonder if it's like... I think it's cocktail related, right?
Yes, it is.
I mean, here's the deal. When packages show up at this house, it's no surprise.
That's true.
So they're all getting marked as like anonymous. So we always like end up opening up each other's things. But I wanted this. I definitely did. So Mike has always given me a hard time for never knowing what to get me. So I have stopped buying for myself the last 3 months when I saw things and I started developing a list. This was on the list. Mm-hmm. And I remember.
So what is it?
So it's a bartender's choice, like choose your own cocktail kind of adventure. So you kind of open up the cards, you flip through it, pick what you want, and that's the cocktail you make. Or if you need inspiration, this is where you can get it from. So I'm going to try to open it up.
Here, let me show it because like we always get questions like people want to know what it is. So it's here. There we go.
So it's made by Death & Co., which they produce a beautiful cocktail book, but they also have 2 amazing bars. One that I've been to in Denver, which is awesome. They have a lot of great craft cocktails there. And they have a lot of good glassware. I get a lot of my glassware from them as well. So it's an awesome place. So I'm going to try to open this up and show you what we're talking about.
But while Steve opens his gift, I'm going to get started on the eggs. They're Thomas Keller's scrambled eggs. So it comes from the Thomas Keller Masterclass. And it's a lot of fun because they're really rich, really creamy, and he doesn't use a spatula, he uses a whisk. And so you get these really small curds. It's fantastic. And then we're gonna make some brioche soldiers, which I will show you what that is. It's gonna be a very good breakfast. All right, you guys, this is looking fantastic, and I can definitely see the small curds, and it's starting to pull away from the sides. Brioche soldiers are toasting up nicely. Top this with a little bit of the chive that Steve chopped up, which is nice.
Ooh.
And we can serve it with our little brioche soldiers.
Yummy.
And there you have Thomas Keller's scrambled eggs.
Looks great.
Now, Caleb already had his Starbucks sandwich, so he's good. He didn't want this, but I just realized I plated this only for you, even though we're sharing it. I think it's because I wanted the presentation plate. So,
well, because it is so decadent and rich, I won't be able to eat all this. So
yeah, for
it's
sure.
a good thing that we are sharing, right? So
yeah.
That little jingle bell color is a little loud, isn't it? All right, here we go.
good?
You did good. You did very good. Oh my gosh, it's so good. So buttery.
Yeah.
You cannot have this every single day.
For sure.
That's why it's a special occasion, right?
It's an indulgence, 100%. And with that, I think we are going to end the video here. You guys, we are the worst vloggers. We just really are. We have no idea as to when to end a video or start a new one. And I still have so much more footage that I wanted to put in this vlog, but we are already hitting at almost a half hour. And I don't want this to be like an hour-long vlog. So I'm just going to end it here, but trust me, we have so much great stuff. I think what I'm going to do, if you couldn't tell, I actually did a step-by-step tutorial as to how to make the Thomas Keller eggs so I could share with you guys. I will include that in the next video, and then we'll just keep on going from there because we're going to do some more celebrating with Steve's birthday. We're going to go to the Arizona Biltmore and have a little staycation. It's going to be a fun day for sure. But like I said, with that, I think we're going to end this video here. We hope you enjoyed. If you did, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And from our magic family to yours, enjoy.